position. Ta, ta. Ta, we take it down in the throat. That's all we're doing. So we're going to go over this one time, but it's already recorded also, so we're not going to spend a lot of time. All right? Ta, ta, da, da, sa, saw, tha, tha, thaw, ha, ka, ka. I encourage you to go and look this up, on Mosque's site, and review it as many times as is necessary. And however many times as is necessary for you to get it, that's how many times you should do it. All right? Now, we want to show you today words, how just a few words. Because we're not trying to build a fast vocabulary. We're trying to build for you some understanding. So we're going to deal with one word first. I heard somebody say it, right? We just not the last part. Heard you say the last part. We're just dealing with one word. Bismi. Bismi. Bismi is actually made up from two words. So we put the word up at the top, Bismi up at the top, because if it's coming from something, then whatever it's coming from is its root, right? That's its root. So roots don't usually be, not that no, usually roots don't be on the top. Roots don't say, I want to be on top. Roots says, no, I go in the ground and I support what comes up top. Okay, so the support for this is two phrases, two forms that we know. It's this, bi, and then ism. And most Arabic teachers will teach you this, but I'm going to go a little bit further with this ism. All right. The bi is a particle, what we call a particle. Sometimes it's translated to mean in. But there are Arabic scholars besides me that say that it's never proper to translate this to mean in. But when it is, if they translate it to mean in, you will see that it is referring to inanimate. I'm sorry. Not in. What I'm trying. That's not what I'm trying to say. We got concrete and abstract. That's what I'm on. Thank you. Getting up there. So sometimes it's slipping. Abstract. Bi is in referring to something that is abstract. If you want to refer to something that is concrete, it's fi. All right, but really, bi should not be translated as in at all. Okay, and if you look at it closely, you will see that it really means with or by the support of. Okay, and then ism, which means what? Name, right? But here's the thing that we want to know about this, so that it's become more. Ism has a root. This is just a particle. That's the end of it. That's the way it starts being. But this word ism comes from the word sumuun. Sumuun. Very important, because then this word becomes more meaningful to you. Sumuun means elevated, height, something that's tall. What else do you think comes from this word now that you hear that? Samawati is ultimately the skies. It's ultimately derived from this word. All right. Well, how does that? What does that have to do with the name? What sets you apart from anyone else? Your name, right? I remember that from doing some substitute teaching after I had stopped regular teaching, and I was working as a chaplain, so I was off during the weekdays. I decided to do a little substitute teaching, and I found out something about teaching that I never had learned before. If you go in a classroom with small children and you don't know their name, they will wear you out. Boy, sit down. He don't even know my name. I ain't about to pay no attention. So name, all right. So that's how ism comes from sumu. It sets you apart from everybody else. And of course, sometimes we have names that other people have, but we know that if you're addressing me, at least you're calling me by my name. And we don't want to be called out of our names either, do we? One of our names. All right, so sumun. And notice it's sumun we have a shadda on that vowel at the end. So that makes it ooh, su. And then there's mu, because there's two of them. Mu, and then the last one is wun, with the tanween on. Sumu wun. And it means to elevate. Now, let me see if I can remember how he said do this. No. Wait a minute now, he told me. It ain't working. Which way? I thought he told me. He said 3 fingers. I got it. I got it. You about forgot how many fingers. Okay. All right. Okay, so now I want to deal with one. So when we say bismi, then we are talking about that which sets, the B is we are going with the support of that which sets something apart. What is it about? Then we say law. Now I know that some of us have been so highly sophisticated and we have been so influenced by immigrant teachings until we say Bismillah. And that's called a rule of Tajweed. I know the rules of Tajweed, but I refuse to say Bismillah. I say Bismillah because Imam Muhammad taught us better. All right, he taught us better. And if you say La when you're referring to Allah, you have really changed his name, and Allah never changes. Allah never changes. So why? And also this, you should know that the sound of that syllable, La, is only assigned one usage in the language, and that's to Allah. You'll never have La anywhere else in the language. Every time you have that combination of Lam, Aleph, it's going to be La. Only in the word Allah and you have La nowhere else in the language. And isn't that something to think about? You don't have that sound anywhere else in the language except in the word Allah, confirming what I just said. Allah never changes. Okay? So now I'm not going to go around correcting you. If you said Bismillah, I'm not going to say anything to you. But I know better. And you can not listen to me if you want to. That's all right. But you know what Imam Muhammad told us on that? If some of you may remember. He said, if you say La, it'll put you to sleep. You say La. Now try. Say La. Where it come from? Down right there. Say La. You feel a sensation going up to your brain. La. La is lower, La is elevation. All right. So I prefer, now I can tell you what the rule is in case you want to keep on doing that. The rule is that whenever Allah is preceded by Kesra, then that's when you say La. All right. And when it's preceded by A-A-U, then you say La. I say La whether it's preceded by A-E-A-U. All right. All right. Now, there's one more thing I want to share with you today. And then, if you have any questions, by the way, you can do that at any time. Okay. My class is not closed today because I drive a Jeep. And I can shift the 4-wheel on fly. All right. So don't worry about I don't want to mess about it. I don't even have to clutch it. Then I just reach up there and get that 4-wheel and pull it all down. All right. So we can always drop down in the 4-wheel and pull through whatever it is that we're struggling through. This is very interesting here. And I was listening to a clip on the internet this morning. And somebody had put it was good clips from some of Imam Muhammad. And he was talking about Imam. And we had just heard that particular reference to Imam, which was a very good talk. Very good talk. But sometimes, in this day of liberation, sisters get kind of upset with this Imam, you the Imam, you the Imam. And they may not say anything because they want to remain good Muslim, but there's something wrong. Well, sisters, I'm here to clarify something for you today. You are the first Imam. Of all Imams, the sister is the first because she's right? She's And is what? Mother. And Imam comes from the same word, from the same root. Excuse me. All right. That's mother. Imam is over here. All right. You see how we had I made the tangerines different. Okay. You see how we had a double M here?